Hello, I'm going to try to do a video. My computer's running very hot. My apartment is burning up. Um, I'm telling you, if they manage these apartments properly, this city would be a nice place to live again. But nobody gives a damn. They just turn on the heat on hot days. And when we run out of oil and it's cold, it doesn't matter. Um, Rebel with a cause, or Rebels with a cause. Let's get back into it. Uh, the reports of the early life of Yahya, a 22-year-old who killed 10 people in a grocery store in 2021, suggests that he got along with others and was a happy boy. But then, during his late adolescence, everything fell apart. A middle school teacher said Yahya was the sweetest kid ever, really quiet and respectful. He got along with everyone, and he talked to everybody. He would play with everyone, she said, or she added. He was a good kid. I just don't know what happened. A classmate who ate lunch with Yahya in high school said he was a pretty chill kid from what I can remember. He wasn't like a popular kid or anything, and he wasn't like a high school loser either. He was just kind of in between. He was like me, I guess. A classmate in a 10th grade English class, however, remembered Yahya as not really having a lot of friends. And that's why the other student and I tried to reach out to make him welcome. He was alone and he was just kind of shy. His brother told CNN that he was often the recipient of bullying for his religion and for his feminine sounding name. He added that those factors may have contributed to his becoming antisocial and mentally ill. Bullying drives people insane, I guess. I'm not doubting that. One of his peers said that he had indeed become increasingly isolated during high school. We played something, well, the generation before us called it the dozens, we called it ranking, but we talked about each other, but it wasn't bullying because it went both ways. And even when it didn't go both ways, I think in the 1980s, we all knew that we were in this together. We were in the hood. We were in the same condition. Some people had a little more than others, and we had bullies who beat you up and took your money, real bullies. Um, until you fought back, and sometimes you fought back and you got jumped, and you fought back, you got jumped. We went through all of that stuff. Um, but I guess we saw it as just sad enough as normal part of life, which just goes to show you how terrible black life is. That the stuff that we say is normal is horrible. Yahya was convicted of a misdemeanor assault against another student in the classroom in his senior year and told the police at the time that the victim had made fun of him and called him racial names. 3 years later, he became a perpetrator of mass violence. His action was likely, given what we know from the research, the result of a combination of bullying, harassment, isolation, mental health problems, and rage. His cousin responded, "Are they seriously saying he killed 10 people? This doesn't make sense. How can this be true? Yahya's whole family are good people. People lose it." They never had problems. Sharing a PBS link about the impact of immigration on the U.S. economy, Yahya wrote a post titled, "Why Refugees and Immigrants Are Good for America," suggesting that he was hearing otherwise and that he was offended, given the immigrant status of his own family. When Yahya was 20, he posted hashtag need a girlfriend, and one of his brothers said to a reporter, "The entire thing surprised me. I never ever would have thought he would do such a thing. I never thought he would kill. I still can't believe it. I'm really sad for the lives that he wasted, and I feel sorry for all those families. We lost a brother even if he is the killer. Yahya was a killer, but his violence was not inevitable." I'm never surprised at violence. And I can tell you, and I've been saying this, there's a lot of men being thrown away. I was in the shelter, I saw all of these black men being thrown away. Young black men in the shelter. The old ones I understand. We're all black men. Who wants us? Who cares? They threw us away. Um, until maybe they feel bad that they've thrown us away. And maybe they should, But I was surprised to see so many young black men. Like, damn, y'all just throwing us away at 18, 19? And you think that there's not going to be a reaction? The first law of science, every action has a great or equal reaction. So, and the thing is, we're not even doing the shootings. So if you're throwing men away, we haven't even responded yet to all the shit that we get. We haven't responded. Wait till we respond. I'm telling you, man. And I walk around and everybody kind of knows it. The time is coming. Also, what he said about immigration, it is true. But in New York City, there's so many immigrants. And I'm going to say, I was thinking today, I'm kind of happy to be in an immigrant community, heavily immigrant community here in Jamaica, Queens. And they basically brought their homes with them and they behave like they do at home. A lot of Indian people here. A lot of Spanish speaking people here. But what I notice is there's not a lot of law enforcement. Which, I don't get bothered. But when we have black neighborhoods in New York, we don't have them anymore since gentrification. Most of black people sleeping on the street or went down south or moved away. Especially the American black people. Complete shambles. But when there was black neighborhoods, all we did was get policed. I see things in this neighborhood that blows my mind, and I've seen police watching it and nothing. So it's very interesting. So you're gonna tell me police are not an outgrowth of slave overseers, but we are the only ones that get policed? Okay. Mass shooters often report feelings of loneliness and isolation and anger at some form of harassment, rejection, and discrimination by their peers. One of the mass murderers in 2013 openly discussed on social media that he longed for a close friend. Even though his peers considered him popular, his posting suggested that he wanted a friend who understood him, saw him for who he was, and listened to him. I don't know where his family was, but families are in shambles too. He may have also been angry at the racism that was likely directed at him, his brother, and his family. Given where they came from, the mixture of loneliness, anger, and mental health problems that can result is toxic when, like mice trapped in a maze, these young men see no way out. Mark, who was arrested with his brother for building bombs in their apartment, was reportedly lonely and looking for a close friend to understand him and see him as he saw himself. Another mass shooter writes, just before he is caught and after he has committed his crime, I'm writing this more for my own comfort than for anything. I do not want to feel the loneliness that I do, though it is ironic that I feel this loneliness when surrounded by people. That's when you feel lonely the most. When the people don't understand what you are or who you are. As a very thoughtful person in a community that has given up on thought, I feel like that a lot of times. And yeah, the black people have given up on thought. The only thing we have been for the last, since the 90s, we have been a cream community. Cash rules everything around me. That's our standard. That's how we got Diddy. Because all we care about is money. But he's been a monster for a long time, and I've been arguing with people. He's a dirtbag and a blockhead. And know what they would tell me? Yeah, but he getting paid though. The father of the one of them And all those people are quiet now. All those, the father of one of them said that his son had been wanting to escape the pain of loneliness for a very long time and described him as angry, hateful, and needing unconditional love. You know, there's a lot of parents who aren't teaching their children what America is. America is a slave state, a plantation society. Up until 2020, it was that purely. Just reorganized in different ways. 2020, we had a chance to break out of it, but most people are so comfortable with the plantation model, so invested in it, psychologically especially, that we couldn't break it up. But it's time to move on. So the Great Reset is happening, and whoever can't get on board is basically going to disappear. You won't see them anymore. So either they'll be locked away somewhere or dead. Loneliness does more than just make you sad and sometimes angry, especially for boys and men, as the only acceptable emotion for them in boy culture is anger. It can also cause you to look for love in all the wrong places. Mass shooters, particularly those who are white and who feel discriminated against for various reasons, that's funny, link up with groups that promote hate ideologies. In her book, The Origins of Totalitarianism, Hannah Arendt writes, "For those who feel they have no place in society, it is through surrendering their individual selves to ideology that the lonely rediscover their purpose and self-respect. The experiences of not belonging to the world at all is the essence of totalitarian government. Those who commit mass violence likely find the ideology of hate attractive because they are searching for connection and think they will find it among others who hate like they do." It's something else. It's something else. And, you don't have to fix this, but it's gonna take everybody down if you don't. So it's up to you all. I'm old. My body's breaking down. I would say I'm probably not gonna live to see the explosion that's gonna happen from all the anger and everybody in the society, but it's gonna happen any day. It's gonna happen any day. So we're all gonna see it. If you're watching this, you're gonna see it. And we're all angry and bitter, and we don't know what's gonna spark it. It could be the smallest thing, but it could be that last thing. And all I can say is try to stay safe, try to be careful, keep your eyes open, try to stay aware, and protect yourself as best you can without harming any other people if you can. You could try to repair some of these families, you could try to repair some of these communities, but the damage is deep. And we need a new social order, but we can't get a new social order if everybody who needs it is fighting it. So, or the people who need it most are fighting it. So I don't know what's going to happen, but we're here. We're doing our part. At this point, that's all I can do. Until next time, take care and be safe.